Welcome, everyone. My name is Israel Roman. This is a free webinar on the topic Fast and Easy Pathway to Canada. For those people who joined us in the Facebook Live page, please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to type the questions on the comment section. If you guys are joining us via Zoom, please, there is a chat box available for you guys to ask your questions, please. Okay, everyone, good morning. And good morning to everyone in Asia. Good evening to everyone here in Western Canada. Welcome to our live webinar on Fast and Easy Pathway to Canada. Again, my name is Israel Roman, and I'll be your host for today, and I am your Canadian immigration consultant. If you guys are joining us via Facebook live stream, welcome everyone. Please do not hesitate to like us and share this live stream to your friends, families, and any groups that you belong to that you think would benefit from this one, from this live webinar. Okay, so if first thing is if someone is helping you with your visa application to come to Canada, or helping you with your work permit application, if they are not your relative, they need to be licensed with the Canadian Immigration Consultant of Canada Regulatory Council, right? And in order to be licensed with ICCRC, they have to take the education, some courses, a some courses on this one, on immigration, everything about immigration, and as well as take the board exam, and then be an active member of ICCRC. So, and you can check if that person is really licensed with ICCRC by going to the website. And I'll show you how. So if we click on the site, if I can click on the site, hold on. Okay, so this would be the ICCRC website. And if you have any complaints with regards to the immigration consultant, you can go to ICCRC and file your complaint. And ICCRC will deal with that consultant. But if that person is not licensed with ICCRC, then they won't be able to do anything for you. So it would be good to make sure that you are working with someone licensed with ICCRC. Now to double check, you click learn more on the public register and then type in the name of the person that is helping you. So let's say for this one, last name Roman, first name Israel, and hit search. And you'll see in their name, Roman Israel active status, and that's the license number. Okay. And when you hit contact, it would show you where Israel Roman is based from, which is Nanaimo, BC, Canada. And the company is Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited. Okay. So that's one way, or that's a way of checking to make sure that the person is licensed and really legally able to give you advice when it comes to Canadian immigration. Now you also need to check the business, right? Is the business, does the business really exist? So since Roman and Associates is in Canada, you can go to Canada Business Registry. If the business is outside of Canada, I'm pretty sure that country will have a way on how to check if that business really exists. So for Canada, go to Canada Business Registry and hit accept and go to British Columbia and type in the name Roman and Associates. And it would show you the name Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited, and it is an active BC company. So it's operational. And you can also check Google or any website. I mean, like not website, but Google or Yahoo or search engine. Okay. In terms of, okay, if this John Doe is helping you, you can type in the name of that person in the search engine and see what comes up. And what you're trying to do is trying to see if there is any red flag on that person, on that name, right? So, for an example, let's type in Israel Roman Nanaimo, and let's see what comes up with this one. So on the right hand side, it shows you Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited, because that is the company that I work for. And it would show you the address as well, Nanaimo, British Columbia. And it says here close, opens at 8 a.m. on Monday. And yes, and we are closed at the moment because it is already 8:11 p.m. Friday here. Then you go on the left hand side and see if there's anything that would alert you that it is a red flag, right? So this is good. Nothing for Israel Roman, so that's perfect. And then you can sometimes there's pictures as well to see if that's the same person, right? So let me open my camera. Okay. So this picture right here is from the Nanaimo Hospital Auxiliary donation tops 300,000. This is from the Nanaimo News Bulletin. So you can compare that person right there, that's me, and the person on the screen, on the web, on the Zoom camera. Okay. And then if you can zoom into that one, it would say the podium does say City of Nanaimo. So I am indeed in Nanaimo. Let's show one more picture. So this one is another from BC local news. The Nanaimo Hospital gets 340,000, and that is me. That's me holding a big check right there. Okay, let's hit one more. Now this one's also from the Nanaimo Hospital Foundation. So as I've said earlier, I am from the Nanaimo. That's why everything that I've been clicking is Nanaimo because that's where I am right now. And that's me touring a visitor in one of our units in the hospital. So now I've showed you three ways of trying to make sure that the company, the person that you're working with or providing service for you is really legally able to provide one. Okay. All right. So pathway to Canada. I'm pretty sure you guys have on your research on I want to go to Canada. What are the ways on for me to go to Canada? And I'm pretty sure you guys have encountered express entry. So I'll give you a high level overview of what express entry really is. So express entry has is the umbrella for three subcategories. One is a skilled worker program. The other one is a trades worker program, and the other one is the Canadian Experience class. And each of the this category have its own minimum requirements that you need to pass in order to go and proceed to the next step. Okay. And we'll talk about that one, all of those minimum requirements as a quick overview later on. So how does Express Entry really work? So first is to create an Express Entry profile. So with this one, you enter your name, your age, your language, ability, education, work experience. Do you have relatives in Canada? Do you have job? Do you have a job offer in Canada? And based from those factors, you will have a comprehensive ranking score. You'll have points. Then you will be going into the express entry pool. So everyone in the express entry pool, they have points in there. They have corresponding points. Okay. So step two is would be Immigration Canada would then now invite the top candidates in that pool. So let's say Immigration Canada does say, okay, for this round of invitation, we would like to invite everyone on the top 1,000. So, how would you determine which one is the top 1,000 in the pool? It's not first come first serve, but it would be the score that you have, right? So hopefully you are ranking on the top 1,000 for that in order to receive that invitation. Okay. So I'll give you a visual sample. Okay. All right. So this is a lineup on when they applied for the express entry. Okay. So let's say this person right here applied a year ago. This one right here applied 8 months ago, 6 months ago, 4 months ago. Maybe this one's just a month ago. Okay. So this one again applied a year ago. This one, maybe this person just applied yesterday, right? So that's your chronological order in terms of when did they apply. And each of this individual, they have scores, okay? And I just highlighted 4 scores right here, okay? So everyone in this lineup are in the express entry pool. Everyone meets the minimum requirement, and that's why they're in the pool now. Everyone has their own comprehensive ranking score as well. So now let's say now Canada, Immigration Canada did say, okay, for this round I am inviting everyone that the top 500. Okay, now the person that is at that 500 rank, her score or his score is 500 points. So that means everyone that is above 500 will be invited to come to Canada, apply for permanent resident. So this person right here who applied close to, let's say, a year ago will be receiving that invitation. This person right here as well, 670, even though he applied later. This person right here, 690 points, even though this person applied only, let's say, a month ago, he would get the invitation. But the person that applied a year ago, who scored maybe less than 500, won't get the invitation. Okay, so it's no longer first come first serve. It is ranking system now. So meeting the minimum requirement is not enough. You need to have the highest score as well. And these are the factors and the scores, corresponding scores. So age, education, language, work experience. Okay. So now let's talk about minimum requirements. Okay, I did mention earlier that each of the category would have its minimum requirements. But again, you shouldn't be happy with the minimum requirement because you need to top you need to rank at the top of the pool. Okay. So for the trades worker program, minimum requirement would be the work experience is 2 years of full-time work experience within the last 5 years. And it has to be under the work electrician, industrial maintenance, supervisor, and technical jobs in natural resources, agriculture, manufacturing, chefs, cooks, butchers, and bakers. And when we say full time, this would be at least 30 hours of paid work. When it comes to language ability, your English score should be CLB 5 for speaking and listening, which is not that high, and CLB 4 for reading and writing, which is again not that high. So it's very attainable for sure. Education, no requirement. No education requirement is required. But again, this is minimum, right? So you might meet the minimum requirements, but now when it comes to your comprehensive ranking score, you won't receive any score for your education. So this one, education won't help you bring your score up. And the kicker in this one is you need to have an offer of full-time employment for a total of 1 year, at least 1 year, from a Canadian employer. So this is the hardest part of this because you'll need to find an employer that is willing to hire foreign worker. And before an employer is able to hire foreign worker, they need to apply for it, pay for a fee for it, and hopefully they get approved, right? So it's not 100% guarantee on that one. So most of the time, employers looking for such trades worker just they rely on local applicants. So probably federal trades worker is a no for you. Let's go to the skilled worker. What is the minimum requirement for a skilled worker then? I might be eligible for this one. Let's see. Work experience. This one is only 1 year of work experience, and again, and full time is at least 30 hours per week. Okay, and it has to be a paid work. Volunteer work, co-op work is not included or doesn't count. And it has to be the same job in the last 10 years and skill type 0A or B. Okay. And when I say in the same job, I'll give you an example to better explain this one. So let's say you were a supervisor 4 years, 2 years ago for 4 years. Okay. Again, a supervisor 2 years ago for 4 years. And then you got promoted to be a manager. So now you're a manager for 2 years. But it has to be in the same job. So your supervisory role for 4 years would have a greater score than you being a manager for 2 years. Okay. And it could have been better if, or it would be better if you continue to be a supervisor and didn't get promoted. Now, instead of having only 4 years of supervisory role, you now have 6 years. So having 6 years of a supervisory role, meaning in the same job, would give you a better score. So that's the tricky part on that one. So language ability, you need to have CLB 7 for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Okay. So if you're taking IELTS, that would be score of 6.0 across the board. Education, Canadian secondary or post-secondary certificate, diploma, or degree. Okay. And this one needs to be evaluated by an ECA or educational credential assessment. Okay. Okay. In the skilled worker program, in order to see if you meet the minimum, this category have its own points. So you need to score at least 67 points out of 100. Okay. This one is different from this score right here is different from the comprehensive ranking system or comprehensive ranking score. Okay. So you need to get those points first, determine what your score is. You need to get at least 67 in order to get in. Then you will also get a corresponding comprehensive score for this for your situation. Okay. So the factors are your language ability, education, work experience, age, valid job offer, and adaptability. Let's give an sample scoring to make it more visual and so I can explain it better, or you can also make it more uh, clearer for you guys. So let's see if this person will receive more than 67 points. So language ability, IELTS CLB 8. This person then will receive 20 points for language ability. So if this person IELTS is higher than 8, then more than 20 points. Lower than 8, then it would be lesser than 20. Okay. Education, this person has master's degree. So 23 points. Work experience, 6 years or more. So this person did get 15 points. Of course, if the experience is less than 6, then it would be lesser than 15 points. Age, working age, 18 to 35, 12 points. Older than 35, you'll get lesser points. Let's say you don't have any job offer, so that's 0. Adaptability with spouse or relatives in Canada, that would give you a perfect score of 5. So for this person right here, the score is 77, which is obviously higher than 67 points. So this person met the minimum requirement. Now, yes, this person met the minimum requirement. We now need to determine what would be the score for the comprehensive ranking system. Okay, which is again, these are the scoring and the factors. So we'll use the same person, same situation, right? So with that situation, this person now would have a score of 405. Okay, based on his situation of education, master's degree, age, language, let's say language ability and education. So those things, his comprehensive ranking score is 405. And historically, the lowest person that have been invited to apply for permanent residency is 415 points. So this person right here won't have a chance to get an invitation to apply for permanent residency, not unless things change, that the immigration Canada lowers their bar a bit, but historically the lowest that they have invited is 415 points. Maybe if this person language IELTS is CLB 9, then yes, this person will have a higher than 405 for sure. So trades, 8 to no. Skilled worker, possibly, but hard. Now let's go check the last one, Canadian experience class. See if this one would be the way to go. Okay. So work experience, minimum requirement is 1 year of paid Canadian experience. Okay. Full time means 30 hours per week. And this the paid Canadian experience has to be within the last 3 years. And skill type 0A or B. Okay. Now, language ability would be CLB 7 for NOC 0 and A, and CLB 5 for NOC B. Education, you don't need an education for this one as a requirement. But again, this is only minimum. So when you translate this one to your comprehensive ranking score and you don't have any education, then I mean, like, not really no education. Let's say you don't have any degree, or yeah, you don't have any degree or master's degree, then you won't have a score for that one. So that one won't help you. in terms of ranking you high. Okay. So Canadian experience class, because of the minimum requirement of 1 year paid Canadian experience, you might say, okay, trades is no for me, skilled is possibly, Canadian experience class is definitely a no because I'm outside of Canada and I don't have any paid Canadian experience. Okay, so surprisingly, okay, Canadian experience class is the way to go in order to immigrate to Canada. And it might sound impossible, but it is not. I'll show you why. So it is our study, work, and immigrate to Canada pathway that would kind of like help you immigrate to Canada and still using that Canadian experience class. Okay. And this is the fastest and easiest way to come to Canada. Okay. And I'll explain it further as we go along. So study, work, and immigrate to Canada. And when we say study, you'll have to study for at least study a course that is at least a 12-month course or 1 year in duration. After you have successfully passed the course, then you will apply for a postgraduate work permit. After working for a year, then you will then apply for your permanent residency via the Express Entry program. And guess what? It is under the Canadian Experience class because now you already have your 1 year of paid Canadian experience, right? So first, come here as a study permit. You need to take a course that is at least 12 months in duration. Then apply for the postgraduate work permit. After working for a year, apply for your permanent residency. So this is the fast and easy pathway to Canada. And for the schools, you can choose. I mean, like we are in partner with tons of schools, universities. So if you have any school in mind, pretty sure we are in partner with that school as well. Or if you just want to say, okay, I want to go to British Columbia because I have relatives there, then we'll find you a school and course that would be that would suit your credentials as well. Okay. So these are only a few schools that I can put in my slide. There are many more. Okay. So study permit. What is the federal requirement, or what does the Immigration Canada require a person in order for them to approve your study permit? So you need to be a legal age of 18. So we have clients here who are, let's say, straight from high school, rather than spending their money in the Philippines or somewhere in their home country to study a course and then still trying to figure out how to come here. They would rather they would just they would rather apply here in Canada right away for their college, right? And then rather than paying the tuition fee back home, they would just pay the tuition fee here and it still be able to immigrate. Okay. Next is successfully pass the verification of all criminal records, so admissible to Canada, no criminal offense, no misrepresentation, and in good health and sound mind, and able to provide accurate documentation. Okay. Another requirement would be proof of financial support. Okay. And for this one, the minimum amount needed is a tuition fee for first year only. So you need to show that you are able to pay your tuition fee for your first year. I mean, like, if you are if you got admitted for a 4 year degree course, you don't need to show that you're able to pay the total 4 years. You only need to show that you're able to pay the first year. Plus, you need to show that you have enough money to support yourself while you are studying. So that would be your living expense, or or some people would use this as show money. Okay, so that would be at least 15,000 Canadian dollars for yourself. No dependent, no accompanying dependent. So with this one, we will be using your bank statements for the past 4 years or and bank certificate. Now, the money, if someone else is sponsoring you for this one, you don't need to transfer the money to your account. Okay, the money can be under your parents' account, your friend's account, or whoever is sponsoring you, or it could be a bank loan. Will then, let's say it's your parents who is sponsoring you, then we'll use your parents' financial statements. Then a letter from the person, again relative, that is supporting you, or letter from the bank. Another requirement would be the acceptance letter. This is a letter coming from the school saying that we have accepted this student to come to and for the course and intake, let's say September 2020. Okay, and in order to usual practice on this one is before the school provides you an acceptance letter, you'll have to pay a down payment for their tuition fee. So it ranges between 10 to 50% down payment. Okay. Then the balance can be paid while in school. And this one right here, the terms and agreement with this one and the down payment, this one really is a policy of the school. We have nothing to do with that one. And once, if in case your visa gets refused, your down payment will be refunded to you. Okay. And also, we won't be touching your money for the tuition fee. Anything that you pay the school, we have nothing to do with it. We won't be touching it. It won't pass through our office and to them, right? You would have to pay this one directly to the school. Okay. And learning plan. We'll create a learning plan on, okay, why study in Canada? Why not in your home country? Okay. Now for the school requirement. So this is school admission. The other one was for immigration. This one is school admission. So usually you'll fill out the course assessment form. The school will need your transcript of record, diploma or certificate for post-secondary and college. The advantage of joining, the advantage of hiring as your consultant is that you just need to provide us a colored, clear copy of your transcript of record, diploma, certificate. You don't need to notarize it and mail it directly from the school to the school. You just send it to us and we'll take care of that one. So it's easier process, easier admission. Copy of your passport, Ielts score. And when it comes to the Ielts score, this varies from school to school and course. All right. Some school requires higher Ielts based on the course that you will be taking. Some school have like lower IELTS requirement, let's say 6.0, right? And I know there are some ads out there saying study in Canada, IELTS not needed. So just be cautious on that one because the school still needs to assess if you're able to read, write, comprehend, like, speak in English, right? Because the medium of instruction in delivering the course will be in English, and they want you to pass the course as well. So they will still need to assess somehow, and chances are you'll be taking an English course prior to your main course. That means you'll be paying more tuition fee on that one. Okay. And at the end of the day, in order to get your immigration, you'll still need to take your Ielts score. Okay. So why not start early in terms of getting the right score, right? And with that one, with the Ielts score, we will be able to help you with that, and I'll show you how we are able to help. So there's a question on recommended course or program for old high school curriculum graduate. So with this one, if you just graduated high school, I mean, like it's just recent and you haven't really worked, then it would could be anything under the sun, right? But then if you have already worked, I mean, like we can tie it up to your employment based on what on your employment, or still it would be under anything under the sun, right? Okay. Student benefits. Interest-free payment plans will be available for you. Okay. Also, the school will assist in terms of if you need housing, the school will definitely assist you with this one. You won't be the first one. You won't be the first international student for them. So they know what international students need. So they'll be able to support you on that one. And some students they just go to Google and find Airbnb, right? Some schools they also have their own immigration consultant for their international students. Okay, so you'll have easy access to an immigration consultant. But even if that school has immigration consultant, we will still be here for you. And grants loans are available for international students. Once you are here, you can go ahead and start applying for grants and loans. Unfortunately, you cannot do this one while you're still outside of Canada. You have to be within Canada in order to apply for those grants and loans. And as a student, you're allowed to work 20 hours per week during school season, 40 hours during off season. Okay? And the other good thing about this one is you're able to bring your dependent. So dependent means your spouse, and if you have children, you can also bring your children with you. Okay? You only need to prove that you are able to support not just yourself now, but also your dependent while you are in school. Okay? You cannot say that I'm bringing my spouse and I'll be making my spouse work in order to support the family. You have to prove that you are able to support the family is able to support everyone, okay, with the liquid assets that you have. Yes, you may bring your loved one with you. So what's next after school? Once you have completed your course, what happens? You work under a postgraduate work permit. 1 year of study is equal to 1 year of postgraduate work permit. So if the course is only 9 months in length duration, you won't be you won't get a work permit for that one. Also, you need to be a graduate of a public school, not a private. If you graduate from a private school, they won't qualify for a postgraduate work permit or a work permit. Okay? So be careful with that one. I know there are some, I've heard few stories on students, applicants coming to Canada studying, hoping that they'll be getting a postgraduate work permit, but later on they realize, okay, I'm not qualified because I'm a graduate of a private school. So now I have to find other ways to stay in Canada, and chances are, or most of the time, they are sent back home. Okay. Recommended course or program for grade 10 high school graduate with sales work experience. There's a lot, right? I mean, like, you can. It's really it's your choice really for this one, because it's, if you don't have any college degree yet, it's the same as, let's say you just graduated high school in your home country and now you're thinking of, okay, what course do I want? So it's really up to you now for this one, because it could be anything under the sun for you. If the course is 2 years of study, then your postgraduate work permit would be at least 3 years. Okay. If the course is 3 years, your work permit would still be 3 years. Okay. Then after working for at least a year, apply for your permanent residency under, again, Canadian experience class. Then apply for your citizenship. Then you can sponsor your parents. Actually, sponsoring your parents can also start while you're a permanent resident. Okay, you don't need to wait to be a citizen before applying for to sponsor your parents. You can sponsor your parents soon as you are a PR or permanent resident. Money matters, of course. What is the minimum wage? Why do I want to come to Canada and study, invest, and work in Canada? If I mean, like, is the work there, is the wage really worth it or what? Okay. I mean, like, the wage would be secondary, I think, because there's other benefits of living in Canada, right? You have your free education for your children, a low crime rate, employment opportunities, free free medical, okay, 100% free medical expenses. So minimum wage, for the lowest minimum wage in Canada will be in Newfoundland, so 11.65. The highest minimum wage is $15 in Alberta. So meaning to say, if you are in Alberta and you're working, your minimum wage would be 15. If someone is paying you below 15, that they are working against the labor law, okay? Or they're paying you against the labor law. Okay. I'll give you a quick snapshot of the minimum wage across Canada. So for British Columbia, $14.60, Alberta 15, Saskatchewan 11.52, and so on and so forth. Okay. So let's do a wage sample computation. And let's say you are here in BC. So you'll be getting minimum wage of $14.60. Working for 40 hours per week, that would give you $584 per week. Now for a month, that would give you 2,336. Now in a year, that would, working full time, 40 hours per week in a year, that would give you 28,032. Okay. It sounds small, 28,000. Okay. But how much is this one really? Let's say let's convert it to Philippine peso. Okay. If we convert this one to Philippine peso, this one would be close to 1 million pesos for working minimum wage. So 981,120. Again, minimum wage. So who are the minimum wager? I mean, like, probably if you are working in Starbucks, working in a fast food chain, right? In the food counter attendant, this would be your wage, $14.60 at least. Okay. And with that one, in a year, you'll get almost close to 1 million pesos. Okay. So would you be getting 1 million pesos if you are working, let's say, in Jollibee as a food counter attendant? Probably not, but here you will. So, investment in education. So, since this is a study work, immigrate to Canada, this is really you're investing on yourself, investing on the education. Okay. And when it comes to the return of investment, that one you have control over because it would be you who would be controlling your hours of how many hours you want to work, right? Unlike, let's say, a no offense to these people, let's say working, investing in a business, in a entrepreneurship, let's say online business or marketing business. Let's say there's products. There's package one, package two, package three, and then of course the higher the package, the more investment you need. Now you need to sell those products to customers, and you're hoping that you'll have customers that would need and want your product as well, right? But and my point on this one is that you don't have any control over the return of investment, okay? Because it depends on someone else, customers, right? Unlike this one right here, investment on your education on this program, you're investing it on yourself and you're the one controlling on how you'll be able to get your investment back, okay? And again, no offense to those people, that is a very decent business. I am just comparing it. All right. So funds needed for a foreign student. So this is your investment. So student with no dependent, 15,000. You've heard this one earlier. 15,000 would be the show money to prove that you are able to support yourself. Okay. If you are bringing your spouse, then you need to add another 5K for that one. Okay. And for any additional dependent, so bringing one child, that would be another. That would be 3,000. If you have two children, then that will be 6,000 additional. Okay. When it comes to the tuition fee, it is between 10 to 20,000 Canadian dollars. That is the average. And if you're bringing your dependents with you, of course, now your dependents, let's say your spouse will have an open work permit and he will be able to work unlimited hours, any occupation, any employer, while you are studying. So while you're studying, he can potentially earn at least 1 million pesos a year or 947,000. So we have our administration fee on this one. So 1,400 CAD or Canadian dollars or 48,000 pesos. And as part of this webinar, part of this live stream, we are providing perks for you guys, which is one would be the free unlimited IELTS review. Okay. So with this IELTS review, this would make sure that you will be getting the score that you need for in order to get into the course that you want. Okay. And again, this is free and limited IELTS review. Okay. And we'll take care of your IELTS exam as well. And another perk would be immigration or fee, the consultant's fee of 1,500 that is waived. Okay. And normally, if you are bringing your spouse with you or dependent, they would also be, there's also a fee for them for the consultant's fee. With that one, with this, that one's also waived. You don't need to worry about that one. There won't be any consultant's fee on that. Okay. So, what is the process really? So, study permit process would be first is the eligibility check. With this one, you just send your resume to us. We double check. We make sure that you will be able to find a course, a school for you before we take you in. Okay? Because if we are not able to, right from the start, when you give us your resume, then we won't proceed further. We won't be wasting your time and your money. Okay? But if we find that you are eligible, we will be able to find you a course or courses to choose from. Then we proceed to the next step, which is the which is a registration, and that is when you pay your administration fee of 1,400 CAD or 48,000 pesos. Then you submit all of the requirements we ask. Then you are then given your choices of course and school. Okay. Then of course you choose which one you like based on probably based on the school or based on where the school is, which province, or the duration of the course, or the tuition, the amount of the program. Okay, the tuition fee for the course. Then we submit additional requirements. This is now your school admission. Okay, we apply for school admission. Then once you are tentatively accepted, then the school will say you are tentatively accepted dependent on you paying the down payment. Once you have paid the down payment, then you'll receive your official letter of acceptance. At that point, normally 1,000, the first payment of 1,000 is due, but again for this one that is being waived. Then we prepare for your documents for your study permit, and before we submit your study permit, the last payment of 500 is normally due, but for this one, again, this is waived. Then we apply for your study permit, then come to Canada. So, so why is it fast and easy pathway to Canada? Because you study for a year, you work for a year, and you apply for your permanent residency, which a year would, I mean, like it won't take a year, but I just put in there a year just to be to give us some time. So in 3 years, in 3 year time, you'll be a permanent resident. Then later on, if you proceed further, you'll be a citizen of Canada. So this is the reason why it is fast and easy pathway to Canada because it is easy. You study for a year, apply for a work for a year, and then apply for a PR. And usually the PR is completed less than a year. So now you are a permanent resident of Canada in 3 years' time. So, what are the next steps? Only if you're interested. If this is a way, if this is a program for you, study, work, immigrate to Canada, and would like to have the opportunity to avail of our limited perks, submit your resume to assessment at romancanadianimmigration.ca. Okay. And on the subject line, please type in study, work, and immigrate to Canada. This is very important because we do receive hundreds of email. We want to make sure that we are able to triage it properly. And also, we want to make sure that you'll be getting the perks that is included in this webinar. Once we have, again, at this stage, you don't need to pay anything. We need first to determine if we can proceed or not. Once we have determined that you're eligible, then we go to the next step, which is the registration process. And that would be the only time you'll be paying that administration fee of 1,400 or 48,000 pesos. Then we coordinate your unlimited IELTS review, get your IELTS exam in, and find you courses, okay? Possible courses for you. This concludes our webinar, our free webinar, our free live stream. Again, I would like to thank everyone who joined us via Zoom, via Facebook Live page. If you've just finished watching this one as a recording, as a recorded video or recorded event, thank you so much as well. If you think someone else will benefit for this benefit the info you've heard, please do not hesitate to share the video to your friends, families. Hello, Luis. Go ahead. Type in your question, please. I see the reason in the night, and every time I close my eyes, guess I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. And my heart gets cold. I need you more than you know. After all the time that's passed, is it wrong to say I want you back? Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. No love wasted if you take it. If you feel hello, Lisa. Lonely, I could use a little something. We could make a new beginning. Feel a little lonely, I could use a little something. Don't give me up, I seen the light. I see the reason in the night. And every time I close my eyes, guess I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you more than. All right. So I guess there's no more questions. Hold on. Sharmi, go ahead, Sharmi. Don't give me up, I seen the light. I see the reason in the night. That is a great question, Luis. What if no work available within 1 year of postgraduate work permit? That is a very great question, but 99% of the time there is work for you. So, and if there's no work, we'll try to extend your stay here, and in order for you to get something, you won't be going home, and Canada won't. I mean, like, since you already have your education here, there's other ways of keeping you here in Canada, especially because you are a graduate of a public school. As a 17-year-old that interested in applying for college in Canada, do I still to wait until I turn 18? That is correct. So we can go ahead and we can start the process, like finding the school, finding the course, submitting all the documents. With, let's say, the intake, the school intake would be once you're 18. Okay. All right. Any more questions? I know you guys heard a lot of things. If after this webinar you all of a sudden have a question, please do not hesitate to add them, to ask them, I mean, on our Facebook Messenger. Okay, so again, thank you everyone. Have a good day. Goodbye.